Welcome back to my series on reading music on the guitar. Today we're on lesson 14 and we're going to be taking a look at a very small but very powerful little piece of equipment. This is the eighth note rest that we're learning all about today. This is going to be a direct continuation of the work we've done in the last couple of lessons. We're making more complex rhythms here. Eighth note rests in particular can really unlock some very difficult rhythms. So I'm going to explain exactly how it all works and give you a couple of play-along examples for you to practice. If you get lost looking at any of this stuff, or if it seems like there's elements on the page that I'm not explaining, you probably need to go back and revisit some of the previous episodes. I've got a whole series on my channel that'll teach you how to read music on the guitar from step one. You can get the PDF in the description for this series. It's totally free. And again, like I said, it'll take you all the way from step one. But at any rate, let's get started. We're here on page 14 of that PDF today. And right away we see a new element. This is called an eighth rest. Now, based on what we've learned so far, it might be obvious to you already how this eighth rest works. This is going to be half a beat long, and it's just going to be a little measured spot of silence. Where this gets tricky is really measuring and being sure that it's exactly a half a beat long. Try to count through this first example and you'll see why this is tricky. 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Just like before, it's really imperative that we split our inner beat into an eighth note pulse. Even when we're playing quarter notes, we want to count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You can see actually that makes it a little bit easier to keep track of where those notes are. All right, see if you can sight read this with me. Set your inner eighth note pulse. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And you know the drill. Rewind, try that a couple of times, see if you can get it close to perfect before you move on. Our next example is a little lighter on the eighth note rest. You can see there's just a couple of them sprinkled out throughout the whole tune. This is what it's all about though. Now we're putting this into a real musical context. Here we go. Connect with your inner eighth note pulse. And let's try it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Leave me a comment if you can name that tune. But keep in mind, you might want to rewind a couple times first to be sure that you're really hearing it. Once you've got it though, here's a real challenge. We're going to try it much faster. Set your eighth note pulse. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, last one for today. And I'll be honest, this one's a little bit of a deep cut for me. I will be surprised if anybody can name this song down in the comments. Notice the repeat signs. We're going to do this one twice. So first time around, just do your best. Don't worry too much if you miss a bunch of notes. Remember that we're going to repeat, so you'll get another try at everything. Here we go. Set your eighth note pulse. Remember to keep your eyes moving. Give it your best shot. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Great work today. Now, I think you should have some patience with yourself on this lesson. I wouldn't be surprised if it takes way more repeats than usual to get these eighth note rests to work right. Have a lot of fun practicing. Leave me a comment if you got any questions about these. Subscribe so you don't miss the next lesson, and I will see you next time.